Hey guys, welcome back to my sewing room. My name is Amanda. If you haven't been here before, if you have, welcome back. In today's video, I'll be telling you guys the top 10 things that I cannot live without in my professional dressmaking studio, okay? If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. Also turn on notifications so you guys can be alerted every time I post. If you guys are interested in learning how I draft all of my patterns, as well as getting exclusive members only content, make sure to hit the join button down below. Now let's get to it. Okay, so I just want to start this video by saying not everything that I'm going to be talking about today is going to be the most easily accessible or the most affordable. I just want to let you guys know my top 10 things, okay? Also, I will leave links in the description box below of everything I'm talking about. Absolutely everything. Now let's get to it. Number one thing, this cup pressing mold. Hands down, especially if you're doing a lot of bridal right now. The trend for bridal right now is doing bodices with separate cups. Is this hair? The trend right now is doing bodices with separate cups. So if you're doing that, you need this. A regular tailor's hand is not going to cut it. This is a size medium. They also have a size small and a size large. I have also used this with pressing my masks when I've been making some bridal masks. I've been using this for that too, and it works for that as well. Not only does it work for pressing those cups, but it also works for pressing any kind of cups. So say you're doing like a princess seam, just a regular princess seam bodice, slide this in there. I've also used this when I'm hand sewing my lace on to my bodices and things around the cup area. I slide that in there and I just it's just, y'all, this is perfect. I'm trying to figure out how to make one of these so that I can make it in a bigger size, because when I did order this, it did take like literally 2 months to come in. Now, I will link below the Instagram where I purchased this. You can DM them on Instagram and order from them. If you go to their Instagram and go to their website is all in Russian. But I think I did purchase on their website, and then I DM'd them like, hey, I purchased. I'm in the United States. I just want to make sure that you guys got it, and this is my address to make sure that it gets to me on time. And like I said, it took 2 months, and that was with their expedited shipping. So things from Russia take a long time, but I do notice that things from Russia and things from Ukraine are perfect. Like, they have the best fabrics and dressmaking supplies. So make sure to go ahead and check this out. It is worth the wait. The price for this is around $30 US, and then I think I paid another $20 for shipping. So all in, you're about $50 for something that you're going to use every single day of your dressmaking career. Number two is definitely a steamer. Now, don't judge me. I've dropped it a few times, but this steamer is everything to me. I use it all the time. This is just a really cheap steamer that I got from Walmart. So that goes to show that you don't need to go and buy a really expensive industrial steamer. We're not dry cleaners, y'all. Okay, we're dressmakers. So my husband bought this for my birthday last year, and I've been using it every day since. When I'm sewing on my lace on sleeves, I think I filmed a tutorial on that, so that should be up here on the channel soon if it's not already up already. When I sew lace on anything really, I turn this on and I really give it a good steam. It helps really lay the lace flat, especially when you're cutting out and reapplicating lace onto things. You want to have a steamer to really really steam that in place and roll down those edges so it looks like it just belongs. I also, after I finish all of my dresses, I give it a quick steam before I put it in the garment bag and package it up and send it out to my brides. If you guys want a video on how I prepare my gowns for shipping, let me know down in the comment section below, and I'll make sure to record one for you guys. But yes, this steamer is invaluable, okay? Is that the right word? Invaluable. The steamer is everything. You know what I mean. Get yourself a steamer. Definitely. I think this steamer ran about $20, $25. I'm not sure. I will leave a link to this exact one down below in the description box. Okay, so my next thing that I cannot live without in my sewing studio, fabric scissors. You got to have some good fabric scissors. I get these from wawalk.com. If you guys know me, if you guys attended any of my classes, you know Wawalk is where it's at, okay? I love these two in particular. These were $6, and these were like $16 or $20 or something like that. And come on now, they work exactly the same. So if I had to choose again, if I had to rebuy, I would rebuy these ones because they're more inexpensive and I can get more. I tend to have quite a few sharp scissors around, depending on where I'm at in my studio, because I do a lot of things from the table to the machine to the ironing board, over back to the table. So I like to have them in different places. I also really think it is very important, especially if you're doing a lot of lace work, to have a pair of tiny scissors. You want to have sharp scissors. Like I said, I will link everything below in the description box. These are for cutting out lace. Now, I am thinking about investing in a soldering iron, but I don't want to say go and get a soldering iron because I've never used one before. So when I buy one and I experiment with it, maybe I'll update this. But for now, I do use these tiny scissors to cut out all of my lace. Now, I do fuzzy cut out my lace, and then after I sew it on, then I take these scissors and really get into all the corners and really get it out. And I think that's what helps my lace lay really flat, because I'm not cutting it out before. I sew it on nice and flat, and then I cut it out after. And I think I have a whole video here, if you guys check that out, about how I sew on lace, okay? Next one, and this is still in the fabric scissors category, nippers. I get these from AliExpress. Well, my friend Tanisha gets them from AliExpress. Shout out to Tanisha. These are, I mean, I have like 1,000 pairs of these. I have them over my serger. I have them at my machine. I have them at my table, my ironing board. You need to be snipping the threads, y'all. These are perfect for snipping threads. I also use them to snip notches. When I have like alignment notches, I do a quick snip, and these aren't really hard on your hands. My hands have really been hurting these days. Like when I wake up, I feel like they're so swollen because I've been using my hands a lot, and these snips really help so I don't have to like use like scissors. Sometimes I see people use scissors, and you have to use a bigger range of motion to actually snip threads versus get yourself some of these. I think a whole pack is like $5 for a pack of 3 or something like that. These are really my go-to when it comes to snipping threads, snipping notches, making sure like if I have to snip something really quick, I'm using these. Okay, so get yourself some of these. Okay, so my next thing I cannot live without in my sewing room, stitch witchery. Yes, you need stitch witchery. I use this in my hems. I use this to temporarily base things together. Like when I'm adding my label onto my garments, the linings of my garments, I cut a little bit of stitch witchery and stick it on and fuse my my label onto the lining before I sew it all around. I use this for, like I said, for hems. I use this to turn up the sleeves and press in there. If I need to add lace in a few strategic areas, I base it on with this as well. Stitch witchery is a really good tool. I also use this if some gowns that I'm making have waistbands. I stitch witchery them on. Yes, I do. And I haven't had one come off yet. Now, I do hand tack in a couple places, but the majority of the strength of holding the waistband onto the dress is stitch witchery. This is what is it? This is the 3/4 inch by 100 yard roll. I think I got this from Wawak as well. I will link to it below in the description box. Okay, so the next thing is not only dressmaking pins, but a magnet. A magnet pen holder. This has really saved my life when I spill out my pens, which I do almost daily. All I have to do is go like this over them and they come all up. Especially, you know, I have all these kids running around my sewing studio, so I want to make sure that my floor is pinless. This also helps because it's kind of sticks to my machine, so I can just grab and go with the pins. Now, as far as pins go, I really love dressmaking pins. These are not satin pins. They're not the short satin pins. No, these are specifically made for dressmaking, and I like using these to hold all of my lace on there. If you do a lot of lace work, which a lot of you guys are aspiring bridal designers or established bridal designers, you know that we do a lot of lace work, and these really get in there and hold that lace where it needs to be, and you don't have to take them out when you're sewing them by machine. When you're sewing your lace on by machine, your machine just kind of glides all around it, okay? So make sure that you guys get lace pens. I mean, not lace pens, dressmaking pens. I get the 1 pound box from Wawak, and I think it's like $15, $18 or something like that. And a 1 pound box will last you a long time. Now, this is all I have left. So I need to go ahead and make another order of pins because I don't know where they go. They just, I think they're like, they're quitting on me. I don't know. But I have to order some more pins. So make sure to pick up some of these and the magnet pin holder. I will link to both in the description box. Now the next thing is not really sewing related, but I think it's important to have in your sewing studio a lighter. I use a lighter for quite a few things when I'm doing my button loops. If you guys have ever used the pre-made button loops, they have like a cotton thing and then the elastic and it frays away every time you cut it. I just burn the top and burn the bottom and it's perfect. I also use this when I'm making sashes for my brides. I burn the ends of the ribbons and it just keeps it where it needs to be. You can also burn off some of your threads, like your threads that are kind of sticking up. You can go ahead and burn off with some of those. I know you can buy a thread zap. I've never tried one before, so I don't want to recommend it to you when I have never tried it myself. I use a lighter, y'all. Get yourself a lighter from the dollar store, from the corner store, 7-Eleven. I don't know where y'all at. Get you a lighter. And I do want to mention that the things that I'm saying here are in no type of order. So these are just all 10 things that I love, but there's no order to the way I'm mentioning them. The next thing I really, really cannot live without, like cannot live without in my sewing studio, boning. I have two different kinds of boning here. I'm showing you in black because that's all I have left in stock, but I would recommend you buying this in white, especially if you're doing bridal. And this is plastic boning. I get this from Wawak. I get them all from Wawak. I get everything from Wawak. This is a 1/4 inch plastic boning, and since everybody's getting all of those corsets and things lately, corsets and bustier and things like that, I do suggest getting this. It is a 100-yard roll for about $20, maybe $29 or something like that. So, and this, I've been using this like crazy, and you see how much I still have left. So I think this is really, really important to get, especially if you're wanting to do a lot of these more trendy dresses that are bustier style dresses. Make sure to get these. I use this boning in my gowns that I'm using regular princess seams or just a regular wedding gown. Then I go ahead and use my sewed through Ridgeline boning. Love them both. I get 100-yard rolls of this and 100-yard rolls of this, and I use them every single day, and they're still going strong. So this is really, especially if you're making structured garments, which here on the channel, that's all we make. No spandex over here. So make sure to get yourself some boning, and it will definitely add a different, more couture look to your gowns, okay? Okay, so my next thing that I cannot live without in my sewing studio, this baby. And it's off. Obviously, I'm touching it. Yes, my gravity feed iron. If you guys want to see a detailed review on this iron, leave me a comment down below and I'll make sure to film one for you guys. But this is a gravity feed iron. It has a water bottle that I have mounted to my wall, and that's what produces all the steam. It comes through the tube and into the iron. This baby gets so hot and it throws so much steam. I have noticed a huge increase in the quality of my work when I started to use this gravity feed iron. And the best part about it is it's only around $119. Now I do say only, and I understand a lot of people are on a budget, especially right now with the virus going around. But when it comes to investing in your equipment for your professional dressmaking, I think it is important to invest in equipment. You guys know I was sewing on my home sewing machine and using my iron that leaked out with water for so long. And finally, when I told myself, okay, I'm going to sell a dress, I'm going to buy my sewing machine, I'm going to sell a dress, I'm going to buy a serger, I'm going to sell a dress, I'm going to buy an iron, I'm going to sell a dress, I'm going to buy my table and buy a camera and buy all this, you know what I mean? So it's not, don't think that you have to get all of your equipment at one time. Lord knows I'm still going and trying to figure out what I need best. I do get things one at a time, so don't think that you have to go out and buy everything that I'm talking about today. Your home iron will do if that's all you can do right now, but if you can afford to go ahead and upgrade to a gravity feed iron, I highly suggest it, especially if you're doing client work. I do see a huge difference when it comes to pressing with this iron versus pressing with a home iron. Almost done. My last two things, okay? And those are my machines. The first one is my industrial sewing machine. I have a Juki DDL 8700. Everybody and their mama has that machine. That's the one that I have. I paid, I think, around $748 for it. And when it came in, I did have to assemble it myself. Yes. I will link below a few authorized dealers that I was just buying from. I did get mine from eBay, and I had a plethora of problems with the seller and them not sending my machine and all this and all that. So I do suggest buying from an authorized dealer. Even if you do have to spend a little bit more money, it's not worth the headache, especially when you're already shelling out over $700. Just get it from the right people, okay? I do love that machine. I can sew through anything with that machine. I never break needles. I never have any issues. I can sew right over my pins with no issues because, you know, here on this channel we sew over our pins, and I'm not going to change. Okay. I can sew all of my lace on by just lifting my presser foot, and I don't have to worry about getting different attachments like darning foots and all those different things. I do love this machine. Hands down, the hardest thing for me to buy because it was so expensive. But once I have it, the most used thing in my sewing studio, literally. And I know that it will work and work and work for years to come, and I will have to upgrade it like I had to do with my other home sewing machine that just could not take the volume of stress that I was putting through it on a daily basis. And I am getting into sewing some bags. I don't know if I'm going to feature that on the channel or not. I think I'm going to keep it more as a hobby for myself. But I may do one or two sew-alongs when it comes to bag making. But anyway, I'm planning on making bags, and I know that machine will do it with no issue. So I will keep you guys posted on that. Okay, and the last thing that I can absolutely not live without in my sewing studio is my serger. Once again, I know the last three things I said are big ticket items. I know. But we're talking about in a professional dressmaking setting. So I do, here at my studio, I do about 20 to 30 wedding dresses a year, plus flower girl dresses, plus all of my dresses that I make for YouTube, and some of the things that I make here for around the house, like pillows and things like that. So I do a lot of professional sewing for clients. So it is worth it for me to go ahead and invest in more expensive equipment. I will link below some cheaper alternatives for not only my industrial machine, but my serger. I think I probably did get one of the cheapest sergers. I bought the Janome 8933. I think I paid like $250 or somewhere around that for that serger, and I absolutely love it. I haven't changed, well, I try not to change any of the dials on it. I just serge it how it is, and I serge everything in white, and if it's black, then I serge it in black, but if it's not black, it's getting serged in white. I do plan on upgrading and getting a cover stitch machine as well, because I know I'm sewing a lot of cups now, and I'm sewing a lot of dresses that have cups in them, so I think it'll be a lot more cost effective, a lot more time saving and cost effective, really, because time is money, to get a cover stitch machine to go ahead and sew all of my cups together, as well as do quite a few other things with that machine. So I will link below in the description box my serger, and I'll also link below in the description box the cover stitch machine that I'm trying to con my husband into buying me for Christmas. Okay. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Like I said, a lot of these things are things that I personally could not live without in my sewing studio, and I literally use them every single day. So they're worth their weight in gold, okay? I do want to mention one more thing, and this is not part of the 10, because I know not everybody does fashion illustration, but I think it is important, especially if you're doing client work, to go ahead and get templates, okay? These are the Preda templates, and they are absolutely free to download. I have a plus size one. I have one for more like lingerie if I'm making just a bustier. I have a children one, and then I do have a standard slimmer size one that looks exactly like this, but she's just smaller. I have no idea where it is. I know I'm using it somewhere, but I get a lot of questions on how I do my sketches. If you guys want a video on how I do my sketches, or just a fashion illustration video, I'm not professional like that, y'all. I just sketch for what I know so my client can see what I'm talking about. But if you guys want a video on that, I am also learning how to put this into Adobe Illustrator and do digital fashion illustrations. So once I do that, I probably will film like a whole comprehensive tutorial, or not tutorial, but vlog style video on how I do my fashion illustration, because I really am trying to put a lot more time into this part of it. because this will be more of a keepsake for my brides. Once I actually put them on here, I scan them in the computer and then do them digitally. So this will be something that my bride has to compare to her finished gown, and you know, have pride in, and being able to have her custom Amanda Sparkle tour gown. So I'm really working on this, and I will update you guys to let you know how this goes. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I do want to give a big shout out to all the members of my channel, as well as my lovely patrons over on Patreon. You guys have literally funded my December series. Like I said in my last video, without you guys, I will not have gotten, I just bought a new microphone. You know, I've upgraded a lot of my video content with assets that I purchased with the money that I'm earning now from you guys. So I really, really, really appreciate it. My next purchase for next month is going to be new lighting equipment. And I'm also going to con my husband into making me a theater flat for backgrounds for lookbook videos that I have planned for members only, as well as my patrons. So I do want to list off everyone's name because I really am appreciative for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one.